From the early 19th century, Western education was introduced gradually to India, had a twofold impact. The elite and the middle class welcomed this modern education, which started a social reform movement which had a powerful social impact. The Indian Renaissance, led by luminaries like Raja Ram Mohan Rai and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, matured by the second half of the 19th century. In the 1860s, the birth of Rabindranath Tagore, Swami Vivekananda and others like Prafulla Chandra Rai brought hope to a languishing India.
The history of modern civilization is basically consisting of two important things. One is called Renaissance, another one is called Industrial Revolution. P.C. Ray has observed the impact of Industrial Revolution in Britain, and immediately he decided that doing teaching and other kind of relevant works, he will try his best to establish an industrial infrastructure in India.
Prafulla Chandra Rai was not only a legendary scientist and teacher, but also an institution builder who realized that the application of scientific knowledge to industry could alleviate poverty in India. A patriot, social scientist, and a philanthropist, he dedicated his life to the cause of science for humanity. Rabindranath Tagore described Prafulla Chandra Rai as a pioneer in education, research and chemical industries in India, and as a dedicated worker for the emancipation of the country, and as a man with dynamic sympathy for the poor and the downtrodden. Prafulla Chandra Rai occupied a unique position in his days. An icon of Indian science, his unassuming appearance combined with a fiery imagination.
Once Rabindranath was pushed UK to study law so that he can be a barrister, but after studying 6 months he came back to India. Once he made a statement about Acharya Prafulla Chandra that often I can remember the teaching of Henry Morley. If I look around, I cannot find a teacher of that kind of capability. Only I can see one. He is Acharya Prafulla Chandra Rai.
The founder of modern chemistry in India, P.C. Rai specialized in inorganic compounds. And made major contributions to theo-organic compounds. He and his students prepared many new families of compounds, and he became well known for his work on the inorganic and organic nitrites, especially the new method through double displacement between ammonium chloride and silver nitrite, presented to a scientific audience in London which included William Ramsay. In 1912, Nature magazine hailed the successful, tangible preparation of the compound. His fascination for mercury developed from its importance in Ayurveda.
Acharya Prafulla Chandra was a scientist, but Swadeshi was in his blood. He has got in his own mind that when they imbibe these natives, I always have to depend upon the imported drugs, even for the small diseases and other things. So in his mind, when so much of plenty of plants and other things are available, so why not go for some Ayurvedic product which are readily available? That's the how that today's what aquaticotics we are producing, extract of ajwan, he introduced in the market. He equally concentrated in developing the allopathic medicines as well as Ayurvedic product, and once during his period he developed at least 150 items, right from your medicines to your household items. Even those days sindoor, amla, Chyawanprash used to be manufactured at Bengal Chemical. This is his biggest contribution, and we can see his versatility in developing the products. He was not merely a scientist and fixed in the professor in the book is professor, but in the practical application he used to concentrate.
Prafulla Chandra Rai wrote more than 100 papers some in collaboration with his students, on mercury salts and related compounds. He published about 200 original papers. The majority of his contributions until 1924, the year when the Journal of the Indian Chemical Society was born, was published in the Journal of the Chemical Society, London. However, Rai's real contribution to chemical research in India rests not so much on his personal publication as on his inspiring leadership to a generation that dedicated itself to a scientific career.
He likes to generate a handful of meritorious students who are basically going to take the responsibility of science and technology education in India. Like Satyendranath Bose, Meghnad Saha, Neel Ratan Dhar, Nikhil Ranjan Sen, Ganendranath Mukhopadhyay, Pulin Behari Sarkar.
Prafulla Chandra wrote extensively in English and Bengali on a variety of subjects. He wrote an illustrated zoology primer for children called Simple Zoology immediately after joining Presidency College in 1889. He also wrote a textbook on inorganic chemistry and a series of popular science articles. His scientific analysis of Indian food and Indian chemical dyes is invaluable. An example of his faith in widespread education, he established a primary school in the Bengal Chemical Campus. Stimulated by Berthelot's Les Origines de la Alchimie, which Prafulla Chandra came across in the Presidency College library, he planned his 2-volume History of Hindu Chemistry, which was published in 1902 and 1908 and won great scholarly acclaim. Though a great nationalist, Prafulla Chandra rightly blamed casteism and escapist religious philosophies for the decline of science in ancient India. The struggle for independence witnessed some of the greatest leaders of the time spearheading the movement. Among the stalwarts, Prafulla Chandra's wholehearted support was noteworthy. It was he who took the initiative of inviting Gandhi to Calcutta for the first time. His close association with top Congress leaders, including Gopal Krishna Gokhale, helped him to come into contact with Gandhiji. Prafulla Chandra reveals his patriotism in his own words: "Science can wait, but Swaraj cannot." A great organizer and motivator, he took up the reins when a drastic flood hit Bengal in 1922. His Bengal Relief Committee collected donations in cash and kind, and he distributed the entire 2.5 million rupees among the victims. His efforts for the masses took no less attention than his scientific work. He pioneered the Bengal Cooperative Society to create employment for people, and he is remembered as the father of cooperative societies in India. Prafulla Chandra was born on the 2nd of August 1861 at Raruli Katipara, a village in the district of Khulna in undivided Bengal, in a wealthy and cultured family. His father Harish Chandra was a progressive and liberal man. Prafulla Chandra's early education was in the village school founded by his father. In 1870 his father migrated to Calcutta, mainly to educate his children better, and admitted him and his elder brother Nolinikanto to the Hare School in 1871. This is Hare School today. However, Prafulla Chandra soon fell sick and returned to his village. After Prafulla Chandra returned to Calcutta and resumed regular studies in 1874 at the Albert School, from where he passed the entrance examination in 1879. For further studies, he went on to the Metropolitan Institute, today's Bidyasagar College. Prafulla Chandra attended Alexander Pedler's chemistry lectures at the Presidency College as an external student. Pedler's inspired teaching and skilled experiments fueled Prafulla Chandra's interest in chemistry, which he chose as his subject for higher studies. With a Gilchrist scholarship, Ray proceeded to study chemistry at the University of Edinburgh in 1882. Further inspiration there came from Professor Alexander Crumb Brown. After Prafulla Chandra took the Edinburgh BSc degree in 1885, he took up research for his DSc degree In 1887, at the age of 27, Prafulla Chandra was awarded an Edinburgh doctorate for his work on conjugated sulfates of the copper-magnesium group, a study of isomorphous mixtures and molecular combinations. Prafulla Chandra returned to India in 1888. Appointed Assistant Professor of Chemistry in the Presidency College at Calcutta for only 250 rupees a month in 1889, he soon earned a reputation as a successful and inspiring teacher. The Nature's Club he founded here in 1890 with Nilratan Sarkar, Ram Brahmo Shannal and Pran Krishna Acharya brought together those who cared for nature and the environment. Prafulla Chandra taught chemistry and conducted research at Presidency College for nearly 3 decades. His lectures were lively, with neat demonstrations and historical anecdotes. About teaching he said, "I am as much in my elements as a fish in water." He was admired for his austere habits, his simple lifestyle, and his immense knowledge which he shared freely. This was his home for many long years.
Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray, father of modern chemistry in India, pursued his passion in Presidency College as a teacher, a researcher, and a visionary of industry. Acharya knew that it is more important to inspire the students in the subject rather than to just give lectures. He knew that chemistry is an experimental science. So he laid emphasis on the practical work, and in his lectures he also presented neat demonstrations of the reactions in the class that he was discussing, and that actually inspired several batches of students in the subject of chemistry. In this connection, the famous School of Chemistry in India, which was established in Presidency College by Acharya's efforts. In the laboratory of Presidency College, he prepared the famous mercurous nitrite, which was published in Journal of Asiatic Society, Bengal in 1896 and immediately noticed by the journal Nature. In 1971, the chemistry department was shifted from the main building to this present Dirogio building,
where chemicals used in his research are still preserved. In 1916, Prafulla Chandra retired from the Presidency College and joined the new Calcutta University College of Science at the invitation of Ashutosh Mukherjee as its first Palit Professor of Chemistry, named after Taraknath Palit. His statue is a reminder of his presence. Prafulla Chandra started working here on compounds of gold, platinum, iridium, and other materials like mercaptan radicals and organic sulfides with his dedicated team. The synergy of science and industry in the West and its potential for creating jobs had greatly impressed Prafulla Chandra during his Edinburgh days. 19th century India witnessed Ray as the first initiator of the idea of self-employment, and industrialization was the perfect step to modernization. He founded Bengal Chemical in 1892 from his tiny room at 91 Upper Circular Road, Calcutta. Though he single-handedly assimilated the entire prerequisites for production, the association of friends like Amulya Charan Bosu, Satish Chandra Sinha, Rajshekhar Bosu, Satish Chandra Dasgupta and many others helped materialize his dream of a successful pharmaceutical company that thrived on low prices, good quality and locally made products. It earned worldwide recognition, with the British Pharmacopoeia eventually acknowledging his perception. When sales began to rise, the small factory converted itself to a limited company in 1901. Maniktala factory was born in 1905.
When people are trying to have an industrial base for India, we must express our gratitude to three important personalities. One is Pramathunath Bosu, who was a scientist, Jamshedji Tata, who was not simply a businessman but an industrial entrepreneur, and without any doubt Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray.
Today's Bengal Chemical is a great example where we can see now.
Latest technologies have taken medicine making, packaging and delivery forward. Modern automatic machinery now does what Ray once did with his own hands. The chemicals that he used, along with the raw ingredients for Ayurvedic and general medicines, are still carefully preserved.
These are the herbs we have kept for several years, and like chatim, you will find the chatim bark, then cinnamon, then other barks are there. Earlier we had a very elaborate line of herbal drugs. Nowadays we are also manufacturing some of the herbal drugs, but not all.
His books and manuscripts are conserved in the library of the Maniktala factory. Another aspect of the factory is the manufacture of anti-snake venom. A large stable with around 100 horses in the campus is where the venom is first tested and manufactured later through detailed study. This medicine has proved to be a great boon for our country.
We are in Bengal Chemical manufacturing AVS, snake venom anti-serum, acting as against the snake bites, with mixing of 4 types of venoms, poisonous venoms available in India.
In 1920, he set up his own sulfuric acid plant at the Panihati factory of Bengal Chemicals as raw materials for many products which they manufactured. This is where his plant once operated.
First large-scale sulfuric acid manufacturing plant in India. Our founder, Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray, he founded himself. From this plant, we exported in many countries at that time and also in recent time.
The alum factory which he initiated is now under modernization. Naphthalene, white tiger and black phenol introduced by Ray are now manufactured in an up-to-date plant. His lesson for the future is clear. Without modernization, industry cannot grow. Prafulla Chandra sometimes stayed in this bungalow beside the pond where he would row boats. A favorite hobby, he had a number of boats and this was one of them. 1938 saw the Bombay factory which he purchased with a single rupee. Bengal Chemical has however revived with its numerous products. And is part of our day-to-day life. The factory at Kanpur is another feather in its cap. Honours and awards are showered upon him for his contribution to chemistry. Prafulla Chandra received an honorary DSc degree from Durham University in 1912. He received knighthood in 1917 and another from Dhaka University in 1936, an honorary fellow of the Chemical Society and the Deutsche Akademie, Munich. Prafulla Chandra was president of the 1920 session of the Indian Science Congress. He gave more value to building up a nation's intellectual standards than such honours. In 1936, in his 75th year, Prafulla Chandra Rai retired from university service, but continued as emeritus professor till his death. Prafulla Chandra lived a simple life. He initiated and promoted chemical research in India and became the father figure to the earliest modern chemists in India. A historian of ancient Indian chemistry, a champion of the chemical industry, he remained a symbol of plain living and high thinking.
He was not a businessman from core of his heart, but he was always in favor of that Bengalis must go into the business. So what happened? His primary objective he wanted to fulfill as a scientist, that whatever profit is coming out, that has to be reinvested in the company for developing new infrastructure, developing new products, so that it goes into the mass production and caters to the needs of the society. But unfortunately, the shareholders were not with him. So they started taking out the profit out of the sales proceeds. Shareholders were never bothered about how the company will run. They wanted their money to get back. This became a prestige issue for the Acharya, and ultimately he resigned.
Prafulla Chandra Rai was also a great patriot and a social worker, a philanthropist who donated his salary to poor students and the promotion of chemical research. He lived in a single room at the University College of Science, where he passed away on the 16th of June 1944. The Science College preserves many of the props that Ray used. The bed on which he relaxed is still there.
This is really very unfortunate according to me. India, even today, cannot properly understand the diversity, the multifaceted approach of this great scientist.
Prafulla Chandra Rai's importance was aptly summed up by Professor F.G. Donnan of the University College of Science, London, on the occasion of his 70th birthday. Sir P.C. Ray, however, has been throughout his life no narrow laboratory specialist. His ideals have always been hard work and practical good in the service of his country. I hope that future ages will cherish his name as one band of self-denying and devoted men who received and handed on the flame that once burnt so brightly in India, the search for truth and the hidden mysteries of things.